The cold wind howled through the streets of Memphis, cutting through the thin crowd that lined up outside 3734 Elvis Presley Boulevard. It was January 2007, and the chill of winter had driven many away, but not those who were there for a special reason. Today was the first day of the annual Elvis Birthday Celebration, and for the die-hard fans, nothing could keep them away. Inside the gates of Graceland, the air was electric with anticipation. People from all over the world had gathered, some in RV, others in cars, and a few on foot. They were all there to celebrate the birthday of a man who had been gone for nearly 30 years, but whose spirit still lived on in the hearts of millions. The celebration kicked off with an Elvis birthday dance party, and the music was as lively as ever. Argo, one of the disc jockeys on the All Elvis satellite channel, was taking requests, and the crowd was eating it up. People were dancing, laughing, and even crying. For many, this was a way to connect with a part of their past, a time when the world seemed simpler and more hopeful. The next morning, the atmosphere was more serious. The presidents and officers of some of the 625 active Elvis fan clubs from around the world convened at the Memphis Marriott East. They were there to ask questions of the estate representatives and to hear from a special guest speaker, Lance LeGault, an actor who had helped choreograph many of Elvis's songs in his Hollywood movies. LeGault shared stories about working with Elvis, and the fans hung on every word, as if they were getting a glimpse into a sacred world. That night, the Memphis Symphony Orchestra presented an Elvis Presley Birthday Pops concert. The lead vocals were performed by Terry Mike Jeffrey, a popular tribute artist, and he was joined by special guest vocalists, the Imperials. The music filled the hall, and for a few hours it felt like Elvis was still there, singing to his fans. On the third day, the Elvis Insiders, a group of dedicated fans who paid a membership fee, got to meet LeGault and the Imperials in a more informal setting. The Insiders were given access to rarely seen photos, Graceland artifacts, and exclusive updates about Elvis. For them, this was more than just a celebration. It was a way to feel closer to the king. The final day, January 8th, was the most special. A military color guard ceremony was held at Graceland, and the estate was presented with a special certificate and medal recognizing Elvis's service in the Army. This was followed by the cutting of a massive birthday cake, and more cake was available at a party on Beale Street. The $5 cash donation went to Humes Middle School, Elvis's alma mater, now known as Humes High School. But the real magic happened at the end of the day. As the sun set, the streets of Memphis were filled with the sounds of Elvis's music, and the fans, young and old, sang along. For a moment, time seemed to stand still, and it was as if the king had never left. The spirit of Elvis Presley was alive and well in Memphis, and for those who believed, it always would be. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, had a life that was as vibrant and diverse as the music he created. Born in a small two-room shotgun house in Tupelo, Mississippi, on January 8, 1935, Elvis was the son of Gladys and Vernon Presley. His early years were marked by poverty and hardship, but his family's deep love for music provided a bright spot. The Presleys often sang together at home, and young Elvis was particularly drawn to the gospel music he heard in church. In 1948, the Presley family moved to Memphis, Tennessee, where they lived in the Lauderdale Courts, a housing project. It was in Memphis that Elvis's love for music blossomed. He would often visit Beale Street, a hub of blues and jazz, and listen to the sounds that would later shape his own style. At the age of 13, Elvis got his first guitar for his birthday, and he spent countless hours practicing and learning to play. In 1953, Elvis recorded his first song, My Happiness, at Sun Records, a small studio owned by Sam Phillips. Phillips was impressed by Elvis's unique voice and stage presence. He saw the potential in this young singer and decided to give him a chance. In 1954, Elvis recorded That's All Right Mama, which became his first hit and launched his career. The song's blend of country, blues, and rock and roll was revolutionary, and it quickly gained popularity. Elvis's rise to fame was meteoric. He began performing on local radio and television shows, and his performances were often met with wild enthusiasm from audiences. His energetic stage presence, combined with his distinctive voice and good looks, made him a sensation. In 1955, he signed with RCA Records, and his career took off even further. Hits like Heartbreak Hotel, Hound Dog, and All Shook Up cemented his status as a rock and roll icon. Elvis's impact on popular culture was immense. He appeared on major television shows, including The Milton Berle Show and The Ed Sullivan Show, where his performances were watched by millions. His magnetic presence and provocative dance moves often drew both praise and criticism, but there was no denying his influence. In 1956, he made his film debut in Love Me Tender, and over the next decade, he starred in more than 30 movies, many of which were musicals. Elvis's personal life was just as eventful as his professional one. He met and married Priscilla Beaulieu in 1967, and they had a daughter, Lisa Marie, in 1968. However, their marriage was strained by Elvis's demanding career and his struggles with drug addiction. By the early 1970s, Elvis's health was declining, and he was performing fewer shows. Despite this, he continued to captivate audiences with his powerful voice and stage presence. In 1973, Elvis performed Aloha from Hawaii, a concert that was broadcast live via satellite to over 1.5 billion viewers worldwide. It was a testament to his enduring popularity and influence. Tragically, Elvis died on August 16, 1977, at the age of 42, at his home Graceland in Memphis. His death was a shock to fans around the world, and his legacy continues to inspire new generations of musicians and fans. Graceland, the house where Elvis lived, is now a museum and a place of pilgrimage for fans. It stands as a testament to his life and career, a place where visitors can step into the world of the king of rock and roll. Elvis's music continues to be celebrated, and his influence on popular culture remains as strong as ever. From his humble beginnings in Tupelo to his legendary status, Elvis Presley's story is one of talent, determination, and an enduring love for music. As the last pages of this book close, we find ourselves standing at the end of a journey that began with the first word. It's been a path of discovery, filled with stories, ideas, and insights that have hopefully sparked your imagination and broadened your understanding of the world. This book has explored many different topics, each chapter a stepping stone to the next, leading us to this point. We've looked at the importance of language, the beauty of different cultures, and the power of words to connect us, inspire us, and sometimes challenge us. The cover of this book, designed by Coco Wake Porter, is not just a pretty image. It's a symbol of the creativity and artistry that can be found in the pages within. It reminds us that every book is a collaboration between the author, the designer, and the reader, each bringing something unique to the story. The journey doesn't end here. The ideas and stories you've encountered in these pages are meant to be carried forward, to be shared with others, and to be a part of your own life. Whether it's the lessons you've learned about communication, the new perspectives you've gained, or the inspiration you've found, they are now a part of you. Remember, the words in this book are protected by copyright, which means they belong to the author and the publisher. It's important to respect that and not share them in ways that aren't allowed. But the ideas and the inspiration, those are yours to take and use as you see fit. This book is more than just a collection of words. It's a bridge to new worlds and new ways of thinking. As you close the cover, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned and how you can use it to make a difference in your life and in the lives of those around you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope that the next time you open a book, you'll do so with a sense of curiosity and a desire to explore even further. The world is full of stories waiting to be told, and you have the power to be a part of them.